All right. All right, welcome back, everybody. Matt and Todd Show. We're live here at Easy Street. This is the first annual Cherokee County Basketball Media Days. Now, we did this back in the summer for football, and we thought it'd be great to do this also for the girls and the guys for basketball. So, without any further ado, Coach Blackwell and the Sandrock Boy players. Guys, go ahead and tell us who you are, and we'll get this party started. Now, you got to keep the mics now. You got to be right up on your mouth, and you don't have to holler. You can talk kind of quiet like this and just.
I'm Caden Justice, and I'm a junior. I play a 3-guard.
I'm Brian Giles. I'm a shooting guard, and I'm a junior.
His daddy could shoot. I'm Logan Crider. I'm a junior, and I play a big.
I'm Jacob St. Clair, and I'm a junior, and I play point guard.
All right. Well, we welcome you guys. First of all, we'll start off by saying, as we started the show off with here in the middle, a lot of appreciation to the coaches and what they do. They're also teachers. They spend countless hours doing this stuff and don't get a lot of recognition. So those are things that we most of all want to be thankful for them for taking time out of their day to come up here and just, and it's for the kids. So this what they're doing is for y'all. This is what they do, and everything they do is not for money. Trust me, guys. If you want to make a lot of money, it's not in teaching. It's not. You just really have to love what you do. That's what you do it for. So,
it's in coaching.
Yeah, all those incentives and stuff
$10,000,
that you get on the side.
$15,000 supplements.
Those $50,000 a year. What? Hello.
$15,000 supplement. That's what we get in Georgia. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's kidding. All right, guys, let's tell us about so far. I mean, y'all have already played some games, and you're kind of hitting your stride right now in the region. And we went to the game last night. We watched the boys and girls play. Fantastic game. Coach Rapp broke it down, and the kids talked about it, how big a classic it is for Spring Garden and Sandrock game. I mean, Coach Rapp's talking about staying up the night before the game because he's nervous about it. He's preparing for the game. So tell us a little bit about that rival, I guess. We'll start it off with that. Tell us about the rival we'll play in Spring Garden. What's it mean to you? Anybody?
I thought you were answering it. I thought the coach was answering it.
Anybody? Yeah, all the kids, coach.
Well, as far as a coach, now one thing too, I didn't go to school in Cherokee County, so I've only been at Sandrock several years. I coached somewhere else for 20 years, but I did realize real quickly once you get in Cherokee County that there is a lot of county rivalry. But I agree also with what the previous coaches have said. There's a lot of support in Cherokee County. I was in Etowah County for 20 years, and the basketball was good, but you didn't have the support as far as community support. Your school supported you. One thing I realized once you got in Cherokee County is we may have a rival game against Spring Garden or against Cherokee County, Cedar Bluff, it doesn't matter. But if any one of those teams make it to the regional or make it further in the playoffs, it seems like everybody, pulls for them and cheers for them. So, but I'm a competitive person, and I know you said Spring Garden, but it doesn't matter if it's Spring Garden or anybody else. I stay up the night before, and I want to be successful. It is an electric atmosphere. Last night
it was. Sure.
It was a packed gym, and
yeah.
I know last year we had the county tournament at Cherokee County High School in their gym, and every night you go there and play, it's packed. So.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're right about the county support. I noticed last year, I really was pulling for y'all.
Yeah.
Did y'all went to the quarterfinals?
We did. We made to the Elite Eight, yes.
Elite Eight.
Lost midfield by 5.
And they won it, right?
They won it.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, they were good. Guys, what is it? Spring Garden game, is that kind of something you mark on your calendar?
I just love playing Spring Garden. It's always a good game, and I love Sandrock because everybody wants to go to a county rivalry game, and that's one thing I look forward to when playing Spring Garden.
Absolutely.
Playing in Spring Garden is always like a really good atmosphere, and it's a lot of fun. It's always a good game.
Absolutely.
Pretty much what he just said. It's always, it's always going to be a close game, always going to have a good atmosphere, and it's just fun to play in.
Spring Garden's always one of the games we all look forward to the most, and The environment's always crazy.
Yeah, you know you're going to get everybody's best. You know when they're jockeying for position for that region and stuff. So.
Well, guys, y'all be honest with me now. It's pretty nice to go in at halftime and know you've won a game already, though, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Don't you get tired of them tight ones all the time? I mean, just to be up by 30 at halftime, is that not great?
It's fantastic.
Oh, all right. I've not heard anybody say that yet, but that's a pretty good feeling. Coach, you can go ahead.
Yes. Tell us about some of the other sports that you guys play that you enjoy besides, something else you may do. Hobbies: fishing, hunting,
Ping pong.
ping pong. All right, there you go. Golf.
I'm a ping pong champion.
Really? That's hard too. Now
Undefeated.
that's tough. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm not going to challenge you on it.
I like to duck hunt and play baseball.
Okay.
I golf, I play football, and I play basketball pretty much all year
Basketball.
round.
Golf. All right. St. Clair.
Basketball is pretty much the only thing I do.
Basketball. That's what he's doing. Coach, what is your? Besides when you're not coaching, we asked Coach Rad, and we got the typical coach answer. I just coach basketball, spend time with my family. Is that the same thing?
Well, I live on a farm, so we do a lot of that type work. We have cattle, and so we do a lot of things around the farm. We do a lot of family stuff. I know that one thing you asked about vacations and
Yeah.
stuff like that. When we go on vacations, it's not just me and my wife and kids. It's like we're going to Yellowstone this summer. I think there's 22, 23 going.
Wow.
When we go to the beach, there's 30, 35 go. So when I'm not doing basketball, we do a lot of family stuff, and when we include family, if you're close to kin to us, then you go on vacation with us.
Well, we may be kin somehow. I mean, that trip to Yellowstone, I could be like a fifth or sixth cousin. I mean, just put me on top and strap me down and throw me a pork rind every once in a while.
We tried out for Family Feud together, and we're not in kin.
Yeah, we did try for Family Feud. It was pretty
That's
awesome.
true. That was.
Yeah.
I got a question for Jacob. Jacob, could you always shoot? I mean, can you even help how good you shoot?
Yeah, I practice a lot.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it just came natural. He's pretty good, isn't he, Coach?
When you
I think
aim, when you're shooting the ball, this is kind of a question with that, because this is something I did. Now, I'm not a shooter. I don't think I'm trying to say I am. But when you're aiming or when you're shooting, you don't aim at the goal. I always kind of tried to shoot through the small diamond in the back of the net. Is that something, you know what I'm talking about, or do you have a different perspective? And what is your perspective on when you're lining up to make that shot and the ball's coming up, what is your
I always focus on the back of the rim.
back of the rim?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You never hit the rim.
No, usually don't. It's just nets.
I'm not saying he shoots air balls. You know what I'm saying. He strips them. I mean,
Now, Jordan said that he visualized the ball going in, like before he would shoot it. Now, I know everybody's not Michael Jordan, but that's a good philosophy to go by, though.
But let's go back to how he become a good shooter.
Okay.
Because I think that's what every young player needs to hear.
Yeah.
They watch Steph Curry, they watch all these
Oh, yeah.
players on the NBA, and everybody thinks that's what they're going to be. Jacob's a good shooter, probably as far as percentage-wise, the best shooter I've coached in 28 years of coaching. But that doesn't come easy. That's hours and hours at the gym, 7 days a week,
Right.
year-round. That's something that anybody can be a good shooter if you're willing to put the time in, and he and his family's been willing to put the time in. So.
right. So that was pretty much my question. I mean, it is. He's had to work at it too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mr. Roy, what you got for him?
Coach, you're about 12 games into the season. I guess assess how far you've come and how far your team wants to go.
Well, we talked about that today. One of the situations that unfortunately fans and sports writers and the media and everybody look at, they look at your win-loss record. And we may not have the best win-loss record, but I was showing the guys we're 7-5 right now. But we've played 1 7A, we've played 4 6As, we've played a 5A, and 4 3As, and we're a 2A school. The only 2A schools we've played so far is our 2 area games. And so we may not have the best record. We think we're preparing ourselves for the end of the season. That's what our goal is. I think where we are right now is kind of where I thought we'd be. We have 11 guys on the varsity, and 8 of them played football. So we are trying to get some football out of us and trying to get in basketball shape and learn to play together as a team. And that just takes games and times. So hopefully by January we'll start seeing some of that pay off. I know we went to Biloxi and we played 3 6A teams, and that would be like 7As here in Alabama. They don't have a 7A classification. So we played. One of the teams we played was the largest school in their state. So that, playing that competition, and we competed with all of them. So it put us where we need to be at this time of our season.
What are some things you guys do before the football season, after basketball is over and heading into the spring and into early summer? What are some of the things that go into the upcoming season? Coach, first.
Me?
You go ahead first.
Well, we have a spring training. I guess everybody does that. Every school gets a spring training. We get, in the state of Alabama, you get a week to do 5 days. And we get our 5 days of spring training. That usually takes place in May. And then we start back in the summer. At our school, basketball and baseball gets June, and football gets July. So we do our play dates and have some practices. We don't burn them out. I'm not one of those coaches that requires you have to be this many days in the gym and you have to do this. Every coach has their own approach. My approach is I have a set of expectations for my players, and the ones that meet that expectation, they'll be on the varsity. And those kids that put that time in on their own, and they sacrifice their river time. They sacrifice going on maybe that second vacation or doing things with their family to get themselves ready to play. I think that player will win you ball games in January and February. So.
Players, how many shots do you take per practice? Start with you.
I'm not sure how many we take per practice, but we shoot a lot. We shoot a ton of shots.
Yeah, same thing. I couldn't really tell you how many shots we take, but we do take a lot.
Does everyone have the trigger for pulling a 3, or do you have some that you advise to go to the block?
That to me, well, of course, Jacob has the green light to shoot any shot, and he's probably being humble. I doubt there's a day goes by he doesn't shoot at least 500 and probably close to 1,000 shots every day, counting free throws and all. But a lot of these guys do. A lot of them put in the time. It's not just him. Once again, I'm not one of those coaches that says you can only shoot this shot, you can shoot this shot. We have an expectation, and they know what I expect out of them, and they play their role on the basketball team, and some of them are three-point shooters. Some of them are defenders and rebounders, and some of them knows where they're supposed to shoot and where they're not supposed to shoot. I don't sit down and tell them that. They just kind of understand it. So.
Throw it back to you guys.
My question's for Mr. Giles. Your dad, I remember him playing. He could fill it up. Does that add any pressure to you? Does he put pressure on you to be like him? He's 25 points a game.
I mean, he just, I try to compete with him sometimes.
Right. He can light it up now.
I'm going to do my best to, uphold the family name, but.
Yeah, and your granddad was good, and your uncle, right? Sean's your dad? Okay.
But I've got some big shoes to fill. So.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Bo Starkey, Average Joe's.
Yeah, I do got a question for Coach. You and I was just talking about, your relationship with Donnie Pruitt when you were at Glencoe, and you're about to coach against him for the first time. What is your mindset approaching that? Because he's widely considered the best coach ever in Etowah County.
I agree. When I got into coaching, my first job was at Glencoe in '95, and I was hired as the varsity girls coach, and he was the varsity boys coach. And for 10 years, we coached alongside each other, and that's where I learned to really scout. I thought I knew how to scout basketball games till I started going with him, and he would scout the assistant coaches. He would scout the guys on the bench. He would scout everything. He didn't just scout plays. He scouted what they did when they left the floor to go sit on the bench. What was their demeanor? What was their attitudes? He could tell you the attitude of every player on the team, which that was the difference. And so I learned a lot from him. And he's a great coach. He's a great mentor. And I've never coached against him. Tomorrow night will be the first time. But in reality, it's going to come down to these guys playing, his guys playing. So,
Question. I got one more question. How many dunkers? I know Justice can dunk, but can Crider, Giles, and Jacob dunk?
I think we have 4.
I can.
I think we have 4 that
I
can
think
dunk.
that was I enjoyed watching Garen.
Garen.
Yeah.
He could jam it now.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty good.
I think Caden's got 5 or 6 this year so far. Is that right? He's got 5 or 6 on the season so far.
Oh, okay. Good.
Of course, when you get a run and go from half court, a lot of people can dunk, but we don't have a play for that. So
We'll get Logan worked in there where he's going to run from half court and dunk it. He's going to do it.
I like that idea.
I believe in you, man.
How tall is
Thank you.
Caden?
6'6".
6, and you're a guard.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Who's some role models for you guys like that you look up to? Be a sports player, maybe one of your favorite players, or whoever it is.
A role model for me is definitely my granddad.
Yeah.
He and my mom, both of them really encourage me to do a lot of things that I do in the game and outside of sports.
It's good.
I feel like both my parents are both equally role models for me.
It's good. It's a good answer.
Both my parents and even Coach Blackwell a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I get him one last lap for tomorrow. It's good, man.
My dad is my role model because he's always been there for me, and he teaches me a lot of good lessons.
Yes, he has. I know him personally. Been around since Jacob was, I don't know, he was 6 or 7. Was playing baseball against each other all the time, and his dad was right there all the time, involved with us over here at Dixie Youth Baseball, and it's always been a part. So, you got anything, Dean? Or?
I think that about wraps it up. Well, wait, region play now. Who all's in y'all's region? Spring Garden, obviously, and who else?
yeah, we have area first.
I mean, area play.
Yeah, and then you have what's football's region is our area and cross area.
Okay.
But Spring Garden, Westbrook, and Gaston,
Okay.
and us in Spring Garden the last 2 years have battled in that situation. It's come down to championship game the last 2 years. So and then you cross with Section. I think Section's ranked 2nd in the state right now. They're
Usually very
undefeated.
good.
They're real good. We were fortunate enough to beat them in the sub-region game last year, and but they're loaded with seniors this year. So, and then of course you have midfield waiting on you, and they have their 2 best players back. So
Well, we wish you the best.
Absolutely.
Obviously,
Mr.
we're 100%
Mitchell?
behind you.
Got anything else? We're good to go? Okay, guys. Sand Rock Boys, Coach Blackwell, we do thank you guys for coming. Take some time out of your day, and we'll definitely be seeing y'all. We'll probably see y'all tomorrow or this weekend for sure. Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck to you guys. We do appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. All right.